Chris Marek has reconnected with his ex-girlfriend. And the president of the USA has officially announced the divorce of Amy Roloff. Chris Marek, who is married to Amy Roloff from the reality show Little People, Big World, has shocked fans by reconnecting with his ex-girlfriend. Her name had been forgotten by most people, but now it's back in the news. But that's not the most surprising part. The President of the United States announced Amy Roloff's divorce during a national press conference, which left many people stunned. So what really happened behind the scenes to cause this strange and heartbreaking situation? Why did the President speak about the personal lives of a reality TV couple? And what's next for Amy Roloff, who has become one of the most loved stars in reality television? Chris Marek and Amy Roloff were once seen as a solid and loving couple. After Amy's divorce from Matt Roloff, fans were happy to see her find love again. Chris, a calm and thoughtful real estate agent, seemed to bring peace into Amy's life. But recently, things have started to look different. In late July, people began talking when Chris was seen in Bend, Oregon, having lunch with a woman at a quiet, fancy cafe. At first, many thought it was just a work meeting, since Chris is known to keep up professional connections with clients and friends. But photos of the lunch started spreading online. The woman was identified as Kara Winston, who used to date Chris in the early 2000s, before he met Amy. People who knew them said it had been a serious relationship that ended suddenly and mysteriously. Some people close to Chris and Amy said Kara contacted Chris earlier this year after moving back to Oregon from Florida. They started texting, then talking on the phone, and finally decided to meet up just as old friends. Chris reportedly told Amy about the meeting, saying it was friendly and nothing to worry about. But Amy's friends started noticing a change in her. She became quieter during family events. The filming of the next season of Little People, Big World was pushed back several times, with production saying it was because of personal reasons. Amy told some friends she felt confused and upset about how distant Chris had become. Then, 2 weeks ago, Amy posted something strange on Instagram. Sometimes, the hardest goodbyes are to the ones who are still right next to you. Fans immediately guessed that something was very wrong. But no one expected what would happen next. On the morning of August 15th, during a press conference about the economy, the president ended the meeting with a surprising comment. On a lighter but heartfelt note, I'd like to extend support to Amy Roloff, who, as of this morning, is officially divorced from Chris Marek. We wish both parties peace and healing moving forward. The reporters were shocked. They started asking questions. Was this a joke? A mistake? Later that day, White House Press Secretary Jill Hastings confirmed the news was real. She said Amy had filed for divorce through fast-track legal channels, reportedly after finding clear evidence that Chris had started a romantic relationship again with his ex. Social media blew up. Hashtag Amy Roloff and hashtag Chris Marek became trending topics. Talk show hosts started discussing it. Fans of the show filled forums and Reddit with theories and reactions. The country suddenly found itself caught up in a real-life drama with a presidential twist. Amy's friends said she was heartbroken but staying calm. She's now focusing on her mental health, spending time with her kids, and thinking about how she wants to move forward in public. Amy reportedly told a friend, "I've lived my life on camera for so long that I forgot what it felt like to be blindsided. I believed in us. But belief doesn't keep someone from leaving." Her family is standing by her. Zach and Tori Roloff, who have had a rocky relationship with Matt and the family farm, are fully supporting Amy. Even Matt, her ex-husband, has apparently reached out to show support. The Roloff farm, once a symbol of family love and hard work, is now the setting of one of the most public breakups in reality TV history. Chris Marek has spoken out. In a written statement, he said, "I did reconnect with someone from my past, but it was never meant to harm or betray. Amy and I have shared a deep and meaningful journey, and I am heartbroken that it has come to this. I accept responsibility for the choices that led us here." People reacted in different ways. Some thought it was too little, too late. Others appreciated his honesty. Kara Winston has stayed completely silent. She hasn't done any interviews and seems to have disappeared from the public eye. Her sudden return and involvement in everything has led many people to wonder if she and Chris had been reconnecting for months, Or maybe even years. People across the country are still asking the same question. Why did the president get involved? No matter the reason, what he said made history. No president has ever announced the divorce of two reality TV stars before. Some people thought it was unprofessional. Others found it honest and surprising. But everyone agreed that it had never happened before. Right now, Amy Roloff has unfollowed Chris on all her social media. She has taken a short break from filming and is focusing on writing her second memoir. Early reports say the book will talk about the end of her marriage and how hard it was to go through such a public breakup. Chris Marek has gone back to his real estate job, but his reputation has taken a hit. Some clients have canceled, and fans have left negative comments and reviews online. TLC hasn't said whether or not Chris will be in future episodes of the show. Kara Winston still hasn't said anything. She remains the most mysterious part of all of this. People are waiting to hear her side of the story. At the end of the day, the end of Amy and Chris's marriage reminds us that even people we admire, people we think we know, go through private pain and struggles. It's easy to judge or assume, but the truth is usually more complicated. Even though the story sounds strange with presidential comments and old flames coming back, it's really about love, heartbreak, and trying to move forward after things fall apart. One fan commented on Amy's recent photo and said, "You don't owe anyone an explanation. You've already shown the world your strength. Now show yourself grace." There are rumors that Amy might start her own lifestyle brand, separate from the Roloff name. She's thinking about doing a cooking and baking show on YouTube and has gotten offers from companies that want to share her life after divorce. Her friends say she isn't rushing into anything. She's taking time to heal, to think, and to find herself again, outside of marriage and outside of reality TV. Someone close to her said, "Amy's not broken. She's just beginning again." As the public keeps talking about all the drama, maybe the best thing anyone can do is let everything calm down. Let Amy find her voice again. Let Chris think about what's happened. Let the Rayall story come out in time. No one knows yet if this story will just become a strange moment in reality TV history or lead to a whole new beginning for Amy and the Roloff name. But for now, everyone's still watching Amy to see what she'll do next. Zach and Tori Roloff, former stars of TLC's Little People, Big World, recently addressed Matt Roloff's decision to relist a portion of Roloff Farms for sale. In a June 19, 2025 episode of their podcast Raising Heights, the couple expressed their feelings about the farm, revealing a strained relationship with the property and Matt's choices. Zach stated that the last time their family visited Roloff Farms was for their nephew Mateo's birthday celebration in December, marking nearly 2 years of minimal visits. Tori emphasized that the farm is no longer a place they seek out, saying, "We try to avoid it, honestly, at this point." The decision to relist 16 acres of Roloff Farms for $2,895,000 has been a point of contention within the family. Matt's choice to sell to an outside buyer rather than his sons, Zach or Jeremy, has fueled ongoing tensions. Zach shared his hope that the farm would sell quickly, noting, "I was really hoping the farm would sell, honestly, like quick. Because now it's kind of been dragged out." He highlighted additional dynamics that have changed, making visits to the farm unnecessary for their family. Tori added, "The farm, for us, is unfortunately not a happy space anymore. It's not somewhere we care to be anymore." The roots of this conflict trace back to 2021, when negotiations to sell the farm to Zach and Tori fell apart. Zach described the discussions as contentious, stating in a 2021 episode of Little People, Big World that Matt implied he and Tori were not good enough to run the farm. Matt, however, described the situation as complex, citing strict zoning laws, financial considerations, and the need to treat all 4 of his children fairly. In a May 2024 Facebook post, Matt explained that both Zach and Jeremy, his twin sons, were interested in purchasing the family home on the farm, creating a competitive situation. He wrote, "As a father, it was extraordinarily complex, and I can't say I handled it without some mistakes and missteps." Following the failed negotiations, Zach and Tori relocated their family, including their 3 children, Jackson, 8, Lila, 5, and Josiah, 3, to Battleground, Washington, in 2021. This move marked a deliberate step to distance themselves from Roloff Farms and the associated family drama. Zach reflected on the emotional toll, saying, "It brings up a lot of resentment and old feelings. This bubble has been popped, and now it's very difficult to see it." He acknowledged the farm's appeal, noting it would be awesome for their children to experience, but deemed it unrealistic given the current dynamics. Tori echoed this sentiment, describing the farm as a place that no longer holds joy for their family. She stated, "It's not a happy space anymore," underscoring their decision to limit visits to occasional family events like birthday parties. The couple's comments suggest a deep rift, with Zach indicating that the farm evokes painful memories rather than the nostalgic connection it once held. Matt's perspective offers additional context. In his May 2024 Facebook post, he elaborated on the complexities of the farm sale, noting that money, retirement concerns, loan terms, and maintenance responsibilities all played a role. He also highlighted zoning restrictions that complicated dividing the property. Matt expressed that fairness to all his children, Zach, Jeremy, Jacob, and Molly, and their families was a priority. He wrote, "Money, retirement concerns, loan terms, and maintenance responsibility all played a role. But fairness to all 4 of my kids and all grandkids played and weighed the heaviest." Despite the tensions, there have been signs of reconciliation. On February 6, 2025, Tori shared an Instagram story featuring her children using toy tools, which she credited to Matt, tagging him and writing, "They are putting their tools to good use here." This gesture led fans to speculate that Matt may have visited his grandchildren or sent gifts, suggesting a possible thaw in the father-son relationship. Zach also referenced Matt positively on a podcast with Jeremy and Jinger Duggar, praising his talents, which further fueled speculation about improved dynamics. However, the farm remains a sore point. Matt has relisted the 16-acre portion multiple times since 2021, converting the family home into a short-term rental when it failed to sell initially. As of August 2025, the property remains on the market, with no buyer secured. Matt continues to operate the farm's annual Pumpkin Festival, inviting fans to visit in October, indicating his commitment to maintaining parts of the Roloff Farm's legacy. The fallout from the farm decision contributed to significant changes for the Roloff family and Little People, Big World. Zach and Tori left the show after season 25, a decision that reportedly led to TLC canceling the series. The couple announced a temporary hiatus from their Raising Heights podcast in June 2025, planning to resume in September. Fan reactions to their podcast have been mixed, with some praising their authenticity, while others criticized it as lacking fresh content. Meanwhile, Matt's youngest son, Jacob, has taken a more active role at Roloff Farms. Jacob, his wife Isabel, and their son live on a 90-acre portion of the property adjacent to the land for sale. Matt described Jacob's return as a poetic turn of events, noting that Jacob, who once distanced himself from the show, now sees the farm as an open canvas of opportunity. This shift contrasts with Zach and Tori's detachment, highlighting differing family dynamics. Public reactions to the situation vary. Some fans have criticized Zach and Tori for holding a grudge against Matt, particularly for not attending the farm's pumpkin season, as noted in posts on social media following the season 25 finale. Others sympathize with their perspective, understanding the emotional weight of the failed negotiations and the family's fractured history. The Roloff Farms saga reflects broader themes of legacy, inheritance, and family ties. Matt's decision to prioritize financial and legal considerations over passing the farm to his sons has created lasting ripples. Zach and Tori's choice to step back underscores their focus on creating a new life for their children, free from the farm's emotional baggage. While recent updates suggest tentative steps toward reconciliation, the farm remains a symbol of unresolved tensions. As of August 2025, Roloff Farms continues to be a point of interest for Little People, Big World fans, with Matt maintaining its operations and Jacob contributing to its future. Zach and Tori, however, appear committed to their life in Washington, prioritizing their family's well-being over ties to the farm. The ongoing drama, as shared through their podcast and social media, keeps the conversation alive among viewers, who remain divided on the family's choices and the farm's fate. Little People, Big World star Matt Roloff has announced the end of his engagement to Karen Chandler, marking the conclusion of their 8-year relationship. The 63-year-old reality TV patriarch shared the news on Instagram on July 22, 2025, in a statement that read, "Hi everyone, I have some tough news to share. Karen and I have decided to part ways and end our engagement. Life's a continued journey and this is the right step for us at this time."